In tonight's Pacific Storyland, we're shining a light on close calls involving firefighters. Moments when those first responders almost died, though not while responding to emergencies. And it turns out what they've learned could help save other people's lives. Catherine Cook and photographer Kurt Austin show us how.
What our trigger points are for going to a second alarm. You know, we have fire showing on the first floor.
It's a Tuesday afternoon at Portland Fire and Rescue's training center.
Fire showing from the roof, smoke showing from the roof. What do you think the most important elements are?
Crews are sharpening their skills.
Well, communicating.
In the classroom.
Everything that you can.
And hands-on.
That's the job.
After a while, you get the feeling that out here, things
I would think so.
Always go their way.
I'll tell you.
But truthfully,
that's right.
This place is still the real world.
8 years ago, January 26, 2016, I was conducting a drill here at what we call our burn room.
Battalion Chief Mark Tilden had just turned 40.
Felt normal, came on out here, we did the drill.
But after that drill, Mark felt unusually exhausted.
I was in disbelief. I decided I'm gonna take a walk, I'm gonna shake this off. I'm a grown man, I'm gonna take care of myself.
He rounded the burn room building, took off his coat, and went into cardiac arrest.
I said, hey guys, I'm going out. And then I had a cardiac arrest. Luckily, I had my air pack on.
Doctors later told Mark he'd suffered a complete blockage of his left anterior descending artery.
And it's also known as the widowmaker heart attack. You know, that's a 2% survival rate for that type of heart attack. And you either survive, it either happens in the hospital or at a fire station. Thank God I was at a fire station with my brothers and sisters.
There were no warning signs, just the day-to-day.
We tend to not take care of ourselves as well as we should. We're always taking care of others first.
But if prevention is key, and Mark seemed healthy, what more could he have done?
Great health as far as I knew.
Yep.
What more could Lieutenant Aaron Gagnon have done?
Go get it! I wasn't really one of those guys you'd expect it to happen to.
Sounds familiar.
It felt like coming home again, get back to the fire station. So
he takes care of all of us.
It's been 1 year since Aaron suffered his own massive heart attack.
Oh, let's see you, brother. Thanks for this.
He was off that day.
All right, see you guys.
Driving in Vancouver when the chest pains hit. He pulled into this parking lot and called 911.
911, what's the address of the emergency?
I'm at Winco on 136th, north of No Plan.
Okay.
And I think I'm having a heart attack, actually.
Dispatcher said, turn your hazards on. So as I reached for the button to hit the hazards on, I realized it started to hurt a lot. And then I had kind of a shooting dull pain down my inside left tricep. Yeah, it wasn't good.
So the pain's getting worse, so.
Okay, they're almost to you.
Aaron learned his heart attack was nearly identical to the one his colleague Mark had suffered.
Yeah, pretty wild.
Ladder up.
Same type of blockage, same 2% survival rate.
All right, let's go home.
And just weeks before, doctors had given Aaron a clean bill of health.
And then they tell me, you've been walking around with 90% blockages for a couple of years. And then, so that's when I said, well, how in the heck am I supposed to know that? Because
Aaron pressed for the answer, determined to learn something, anything that might prevent a widowmaker heart attack from blindsiding someone else.
And that's when they said, well, you could have had this one CT scan that would have shown that, and I had never heard of that, and I didn't know. I was upset that I had never heard of it. Why have I never heard of it?
The test doctors told Aaron about is the coronary artery calcium, or CAC test for short. Patients get a CT scan of their heart. It reveals any calcium deposits in the coronary arteries. That calcium score gives doctors a good idea of how much plaque could be in their arteries and how to deal with it. Turns out only firefighters with several specific risk factors are offered the test. They include diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and family history.
I couldn't believe it, yeah. It was a surprise.
On paper, Aaron would not have qualified for a CAC test, but says had he known about it, he would have gotten one anyway.
It felt like I needed to say, what the heck, you know?
Just weeks after his heart attack, Aaron volunteered for this training video.
Here with Aaron Gagnon, also known as Gags.
his way of sounding the alarm
Our population still feels like we're bulletproof.
to other first responders.
Yeah, we're all aware of it. We all know what it is. That's why we have so many of our guys that have had heart problems.
Since then, about 200 Portland firefighters have requested and paid for a CAC test on their own.
I don't think anybody really knew about it until...
That includes everyone Aaron works with at Station 14 on Northeast Killingsworth.
I think we were all kind of in disbelief, really. I think it's on everybody's radar.
Watching Aaron go through what he went through, it had a dramatic effect, not only on me personally, but our family.
After Travis Chipman took the test, he shared his results with the whole team.
Not good. So 0 is the best, and at 700 they say a heart attack is extremely likely, if not imminent, and so I'm at 822. So
He wouldn't have known any of that without Aaron.
yeah.
We get close, we become like brothers and sisters and family.
And in this case,
Yep, granddads.
co-grandparents.
Our children are married to each other. Yes, my daughter and his son are married, yes. And we have a shared grandson.
A grandson who might be missing one or maybe both of his granddads,
That would suck, yeah.
if not for a miracle
Very grateful.
and the resolve
Yes, very grateful. Yeah.
to make it count.
Since Aaron's heart attack, I'm down 35 pounds, and I'm eating right, and so it's pretty cool.
I'm only down 20. I need to work harder.
Of the 200 firefighters who've taken a CAC test, about 15, including Travis, learned they needed medical or corrective intervention. And beginning next year, because of union intervention, all members over 40 will be eligible for a routine CAC test.
It might save someone's life, right? You never know, right? Hopefully.
It all goes back to the training and careers built on saving people's lives. But sometimes, no amount of training
The job takes a toll on our bodies, it just does.
can replace what life teaches us.
We're not bulletproof, we still need to take care of ourselves.
In Northeast Portland, Catherine Cook, KGW News.